Hi everyone, in this course, we're going to learn how to do the troubleshooting for the problem that the controller cannot recognize the input sources. As you guys all know, Novastar has 4 product lines: LED control system product lines, cloud-based platform, calibration system, and video processing. But for today's troubleshooting, we mainly focus on LED control system product lines. It includes independent controllers, all-in-one processors, and H-series products. Because different products has different way to do the troubleshooting. So let's check them out one by one. First, independent controller. Here list some common used independent controllers like MCDR 300, 600, 660, etc. For input source recognition problems, what could be the cause? Before we do the troubleshooting, we need to figure out the LED control system structure so that we can know the possible reasons. Where should we start? Here's the basic system structure of the independent controller. So we need a PC to provide the video source, and sometimes we also use it for the control. The source will go to the video processor and then goes to independent controllers. And finally, it connected to the LED screen through the network cables. From the system structure, it is easy to find out that the source recognition problems is related to the PC and the video processors and the cables, video cables like HDMI, DVI, SDI cables, and finally the independent controller itself. Here is a table for the potential causes and the corresponding solution. Let's check on them one by one. So first, we need to test the output port. Make sure the output port is good. How to do that? Just connect your video source to an LCD monitor. Make sure the monitor can see the video source successfully. If it's not, we can say, okay, this is the output port problem of your video source. You may need to change to a different video source. But if the video source connected to an LCD monitor and it perfectly can be recognized by an LCD, and then we need to move on to find a second possible reason, which is the resolution. Sometimes we need to make sure an LED screen pixel-to-pixel display, we need to do a customized resolution, but some of the controllers cannot take the string resolutions. So we need to change to the standard resolution like 920 by 1080, the 1080p resolution, and fit it to the video processor or controllers, see whether it can be recognized. We also need to check the frame rate, which is the third one of the video source. Make sure the frame rate is the common used one, like 60 Hz. After the checking of the output port, resolution, and frame rate of the video source, and the issue still, we need to move to the second potential cause, which is video processor. Make sure the output is good. Both the input and output is good. We can use a very easy way to test it out. Just skip the video source and directly connect your video source to the independent controller. See whether it can be recognized. If skip the video source solve the problem, which means there was some hardware issue with your video processor, change to a different one. The third one is video cable. Loose or fault will cause the video source recognition. Try to reconnect or change to a different video cable. And the last one is the independent controller itself. We also call it sending card. First, we need to see whether we choose the correct input source, because most of our controller can support multiple different input sources, and you need to make sure you selected the correct input. The second one is input source interface fault. Change to another interface or change sending cards, see whether it solves the problems. The third one of the sending card is the program issue. The internal program have some issue may cause the input source recognition. Try to factory reset or power cycle your independent controller to solve the problems. And the last one is the compatibility issue. You need to update the firmware to the latest, solve the problem. So that's all the potential cause and the corresponding solutions for the source recognition problem. After we already know all of the details, you may say, where should we start? We recommended you started from the video source output port. Connected the video source to an LCD monitor. If the LCD cannot recognize the video source, okay, then we can know it is the video source problem. We need to change to a different one to solve the problems. But if the LCD monitor can perfectly see your video source, we need to do more detailed troubleshooting. First, change the resolution and frame rate of your video source, see what happens. If the problem caused by the resolution and the frame rate, this step will solve the problems. But if the resolution and the frame rate cannot solve the problems, we need to check the video cable, reconnect, or change to a new cable to solve the problems. If the problem still exists, we need to troubleshoot the video processor. Skip the video processor, directly connect your video source to an LED controller. See what happens. If you connect the video source directly to an LED controller and the issue still, we need to do more detailed troubleshooting. First, make sure you selected the correct input source. And second one, test out the input source interface. Change to a different interface or change to a different sending card. The third one is program. Factory reset, power cycle, reboot your independent controller. And the last one is compatibility issue. Just do a firmware update to the latest to solve the problems. So that's the recommended process to troubleshoot the source recognition problems if you use the independent controller. And the second one is only one processor. If you use only one processor, what should we do to solve the source recognition problems? Here list some of the common used only one processors like VX4S, -N, VX6S, UHD Junior, and VX1000. Same as independent controller. Before we do more detailed troubleshooting, let's check out this LED control system diagram. Since the only one processor has the scanning function and also video processing function, we do not need video processor in this system. So PC, the video source directly connected to the only one processor, and then goes to your LED screen. From the system structure, we can easily know the source recognition problems may related to the PC, and the video cable, and only one processor itself. Here's a table listed all of the potential causes and the corresponding solutions. Compared with the independent controllers, there is no video processor part. So total 3 parts: video source, video cable, and only one processor itself. And come to this page and follow the process to do the troubleshooting. You will find a solution to solve the problem. And the last one is the H series. For now, we have H2, H5, H9, and H15. Same as independent controller and all-in-one processor. Let's check out the system structure first. The video source connected to H series products directly and then goes to LED screen. It's pretty simple. And here's another table lists all of the potential causes and corresponding solutions. They have a similar way to do the troubleshooting, but a little different. For the H-series product, it adapts the modular design. It has multiple different input cards and output cards. And when we do the troubleshooting for the output cards, we need to check the EDID as well. So please follow the process listed here and to do the troubleshooting for the H-series products. And you will find a way to solve the source recognition problem. That's all for the source recognition problems troubleshooting. Thanks for watching.